Just when you thought the Epstein saga couldn't get any more explosive, it has. Few days after our last dive, Trump has made a stunning move on the files, launched a $10 billion legal war with Murdoch, and seems to be facing a serious revolt within his own MAGA base. This is the update you need to understand the latest firestorm rocking America. The Jeffrey Epstein files controversy, Trump's bombshell move. President Donald Trump has once again found himself at the epicenter of one of the most controversial topics of the decade, the Epstein files. In a move that shocked both critics and supporters alike, Trump directed the Department of Justice to formally request a federal judge to unseal transcripts from grand jury proceedings involving the late Jeffrey Epstein, the convicted sex offender with powerful connections, a mysterious death, and a trail of disturbing allegations that still haunt America's elite. At first glance, this appears to be a bold step toward transparency. For years, the public has demanded answers. Who were Epstein's clients? What secrets lie buried within sealed testimony? And why have so many of those connected to him remained untouched by legal consequences? But here's the twist. It wasn't a full release. In fact, Trump only asked for a partial unsealing. The announcement sparked immediate suspicion. Critics on both sides of the political aisle questioned the timing, the motive, and most importantly, the scope. What exactly is being hidden? And who stands to benefit from only some of the truth coming to light? Never one to shy away from confrontation, Trump fired back at critics during a rally in Florida, calling them radical left lunatics and professional troublemakers. He dismissed their skepticism as politically motivated, saying, "Even if I burned the whole damn thing to the ground, they'd say I left a match lit. Nothing will be enough for them. Nothing." But behind the bravado lies a deeper story, one that's as much about political optics as it is about the truth. Is Trump trying to get ahead of the narrative, or is he genuinely cracking open a door that powerful people want slammed shut? MAGA reacts, disappointment and accusations. Here's where it gets even messier. Instead of applause from his base, Trump's announcement triggered backlash, and not just from liberals or mainstream media. No, this time, the criticism came from inside the MAGA house. Prominent right-wing voices like Liz Wheeler, Benny Johnson, and others took to X to voice their frustration. Wheeler wrote, "We were promised the client list. We were promised real accountability. This question mark. This feels like more smoke and mirrors." This public criticism from his once loyal allies marks a striking turn in MAGA dynamics. Accusations began to swirl that Trump's team had oversold the release, implying more was coming than actually delivered. Was this a strategic bait and switch? A firestorm ignited online. Conservative forums, Telegram groups, and YouTube comment sections filled with betrayal-laced posts. Some even began speculating that Trump, long viewed as a crusader against elite corruption, might now be protecting certain names. In response, Trump called the outrage an Epstein hoax 2.0, accusing the media of manufacturing division within the conservative movement. But the damage may already be done. For some, the client list isn't just a document. It's a symbol of the broken trust in institutions. And now, perhaps, in Trump himself. Murdoch under fire. The $10 billion defamation suit. Just as the dust began to settle, Trump dropped another bombshell, this time targeting one of the most powerful media titans in the world, Rupert Murdoch. In what legal analysts are calling an unprecedented escalation, Trump filed a $10 billion defamation suit against Murdoch, the Wall Street Journal, and several of its senior reporters. The reason? A controversial journal article claimed that Trump wrote a crude letter for Epstein's 50th birthday album, a letter allegedly featuring Trump's signature, a birthday message, and a drawing of a naked woman. Trump's legal team fired back hard. The lawsuit, filed in the Southern District of Florida, contains 2 counts of defamation, each seeking $10 billion in damages. The complaint calls the journal's reporting deliberately false, malicious, and intended to defame, accusing the paper of gross journalistic negligence. On Truth Social, Trump exploded, "Fake letter, fake story, powerhouse lawsuit coming for the fake news machine. This is historic. This is war." The Wall Street Journal, to its credit, stood by its reporting, stating that the information came from sources close to Epstein's social circle and that the letter was confirmed by at least one former Epstein staffer. Legal experts say this case could redefine the limits of press freedom and defamation law in the digital age. And yet behind the legal technicalities is a bigger question. Why now? Is Trump genuinely fighting for his name? Or is this part of a broader distraction strategy, one designed to shift focus from the real story, the contents of those Epstein files? Trump vs. Murdoch, a thorny history takes a turn. To understand this lawsuit, you have to understand the history between Trump and Rupert Murdoch. For years, their relationship was what some would call mutually beneficial. Fox News gave Trump the platform. Trump gave them ratings and power. Murdoch once called Trump a political disruptor, while Trump regularly praised Murdoch as a media genius. But cracks began forming after the 2020 election. Fox News was one of the first to call Arizona for Joe Biden. Trump never forgot that betrayal. In the years since, Murdoch's empire, including the Wall Street Journal and New York Post, has occasionally distanced itself from Trump. Headlines questioning his 2024 viability, editorials warning of Trump fatigue, they all added up. Now, with a lawsuit on the table and both men trading blows, this isn't just a legal dispute, it's a civil war inside the conservative media machine. A war that could have profound consequences on how narratives are shaped heading into the next election cycle. MAGA infighting, cracks in the loyal base. While Trump battles Murdoch in court, he's fighting a different kind of war at home, one against his own supporters. Some prominent influencers are accusing Trump of falling short on a crucial promise: full transparency. For years, MAGA supporters believed Trump would be the one to finally expose the powerful elite connected to Epstein. But now, with partial releases and a high-profile distraction lawsuit, many feel left in the dark. There are rumors, unconfirmed but widely circulated, that some names were deliberately left out of the unsealed documents. Theories range from Hollywood executives to European royals to U.S. senators, and with every redaction or omission, trust erodes further. Some former Trump allies are even calling for a full independent investigation, separate from both parties. Others have begun amplifying alternative candidates: DeSantis, Vivek Ramaswamy, even RFK Jr. in some corners, as potentially more honest brokers of the truth. This kind of internal fracture is rare in the MAGA world, but if it grows, it could be the most dangerous threat Trump has faced. Not from Democrats, not from prosecutors, but from within. Betrayal? Conservative disappointment mounts. What happens when your greatest champion fails to deliver? For a segment of conservatives, this controversy feels like betrayal, not because of what Trump did, but because of what he didn't do. The Epstein files were supposed to be a weapon, proof of the corruption rotting away at the elite class. Trump vowed to go after them, to name names, to drain the swamp. And yet, when he had the chance, many feel he blinked. The Associated Press recently reported that this scandal is becoming a costly distraction, eating up Trump's media coverage, alienating supporters, and even being weaponized by his political opponents. Democratic strategists are reportedly preparing ads targeting suburban and independent voters, asking a simple question: if Trump won't give you the truth, who will? And within the GOP, whispers of discontent are growing. While most still fear directly challenging Trump, the Epstein controversy may give them cover to raise doubts about his leadership heading into 2024. It's no longer just about Epstein. It's about whether Trump has lost the will or the power to deliver on the crusade he promised. Your voice matters. So what do you believe? Is Trump taking a real step toward truth and justice, or just playing a political game? Is the Murdoch lawsuit a bold defense of his name, or a theatrical distraction? And perhaps most importantly, what does this say about the future of the MAGA movement? This is a moment of reckoning, not just for Trump, not just for Murdoch, but for everyone who ever believed that the Epstein case would finally crack the elite's power shield. If you found this update informative and thought-provoking, give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who needs to hear the full story. Subscribe to the channel for more deep dive reports on politics, power, and the people behind the headlines. And don't forget to hit that notification bell, because in this fast-moving world, context is everything. Thanks for watching. Stay informed, stay sharp.